Buenos dias. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33, and today is Wednesday, June the 15th, 2022, and the time is 1 p.m. Central. As always, once we're going to powerful message, we're going to jump right in talking about or continuing doing live on-air business report readings. I think this is something I'm going to be doing permanently. When I say live, simply means doing these reports, but using the Diakonia report to assist people with establishing a proper business perspective or plan. And as you guys know, one of the beautiful things that I get to do every day is to help and assist high vibrational activitans like yourself, which is with establishing a proper self-image, which allows you then to be able to express that proper self-image through the frequencies, the waves, the verbs, and the vibrations. Now, this is totally different from anything that anybody else does on the planet net, to my knowledge. And one of the beautiful things about it is, I've done quite a few business plans for people using the information that they're provided. There's two ways to go about this: by using your own personal name, and then also by using the name of your actual business. For example, the name Master Teacher 33, give me the numbers 5782, which allows me then to be able to utilize. So let me give you the breakdown real quickly. We're going to break down Sister Cheryl West numbers today. And if we have time, we may do a couple of other people as well. But I want to offer this service to everybody. If we don't get to, obviously because of the time involved going through the numbers and explaining the numbers. But I remember doing quite a few reports when I offered this business report plan back in the day. Now it's back, never went anywhere, but again, just talking about it and promoting it, but giving you the true meat behind it, so that way you can over and understand how to utilize the numbers that God gave you personally in the area of your business. Also, after I do Sister Cheryl West, if it's okay with our brother Donaldson, brother Colin, he has some questions about his plan as well. So if it's okay, Brother Colin, we'll go through your numbers as well. So before we get started, once again, it's very important. In order for you to win, you got to go within. So I say that all the time. It's a little catchphrase. It rhymes and all that stuff. That's great. But most people don't go within. That's why they have difficulty when it's time to win. Now, remember, we don't have to overthink this. This is a natural expression of the soul. The number one thing, the dark side of what I do is what I do, which means the dark side of being a 33 is you go into so much detail, people get overwhelmed and they get confused because they try to figure out how to harmonize something that can't be harmonized. It's like trying to figure out how a radio station works when if I go to XM radio and I got 1,000 different channels, I tune into XM radio. I don't need to know how the satellite beams down the signal to my car so I can pick up the radio. All I know is I tune the channel and I pick up the frequency. Do you need to know how? Now, you can if you're going to monetize how. For example, I'm not a mechanic. I got 4 cars. I get out there and I zoom, I start them up and they go. And right now my daughter's car is overheating again. Well, last time Dr. Jerome was here, they checked it was a thermostat. So probably it's the same thing. Do I need to know how to do it? I could do that myself. Am I going to do it? Absolutely not. I probably could. I could probably change my own brake pads. I could change my starter. I could do all of that stuff. But I don't do it. Why? Because my time is more valuable than other things. So number one, before we get into Sister Cheryl West numbers, Sister Cheryl West has a business name and she has a personal name. Now, Sister Cheryl West should do what I did. I have a business name, Master Teacher 33 Incorporated. I have some sub businesses underneath that. So when I do my income tax, I use my Social Security for my personal income. Then I use my EIN number for all of my tax ID numbers and my corporate ID for all of my different businesses. And I file it on the one tax return. That, and again, this has nothing to do with the topic, but it's very important so you understand how all of this works together. Next, I made a decision to use two numbers because I didn't have those numbers in my personal repertoire. What do I mean? If you take the name Master Teacher 33 and you add it all the way across, you get the number for the M, the A, the S, the T, E, R, all the way across. That comes out to the four core numbers, 5782. Master number 2. Reverse it. If you look at those numbers, that's exactly what I do. Now, I took the date that I incorporated Master Teacher 33, which is January the 26th of 2012. If you do the math of January the 26th of 2012, it comes out to 14. 14 comes out to 5. So the life of Master Teacher 33 is a 5. It's not a 6. So if you notice, because I incorporated Master Teacher 33, and everything I say is, hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. I did it on every show. That has now taken over my name. Now my numbers are not what I've been talking about. So Sister Cheryl could be experiencing the corpus callosum activating the 5,000 fibers in her brain that we talked about last night, depending on the verbs that she's using. Since my brain hears Master Teacher 33 every day, all day, I got it all over my wall, all my business cards, everything. I don't have a business name, Dr. Will Rogers. I don't have a business name, or let me rephrase it, I don't use, because faith comes by hearing. So again, my real name isn't Will, but that's all I hear, because that's what I tell everybody my name is. That's what everybody calls me. Everybody calls me Dr. Will Rogers or Master Teacher 33. So now my DNA in my reticular activating system has been restructured. Now I'm a 5. Now I'm a 7. Now I'm an 8. And now I'm a 2. So when I reverse engineer it, I am very intuitive. That's why people can't get over on me. And even when my gut tells me, you're getting conned, bruh, you're getting scammed, I will still go with it. I will still do whatever it is I'm doing. Because with my gut is so sensitive, I'm an 11-2. My business is an 11-2. Which means that I have a divine connection with God. So I know what I don't know. So even when I don't know, I know. That's very, very important. Next, I'm a 178. My business is a 178. So I'm using my business because we're talking about business today. So I'm an individual, intellectual executive. That's my soul's urge. If you really listen to what I do and say, that's it. I am a 112. I'm a very independent. That's why I'm a one-man show. The hardest thing that I'm struggling with right now, and I've been struggling with for 10 years, is going global, corporate. I can make a whole lot more money, but I don't trust nobody. It's different. I have no idea, man. I could have been. People tell me all the time, you know how many millionaires tell me, bro, with all your shit that you've done, there's no way that you should be at the level that you're at. Why are you there? I'm telling them because, shit, $1,000 a day, I'm doing good. They say, yeah, dog, but you don't understand. The last buddy I talked about that's making $1 million a month, he got real upset because he thought I didn't understand what he was saying. He didn't realize that I'm not willing to trade peace for money. Now, before we get into the numbers, we've got to make sure you understand what I'm talking about, because you got a decision to make. Everybody on this call, you got a decision to make. And that decision is, do you continue with your personal numbers or do you rebrand yourself with a business name? If you rebrand yourself with a business name, you are changing your whole life. It's the most dangerous thing you can do. All I know is if you're going to do it, you better make damn sure that you don't just pull up a name and just throw it out there and start using it and have people make business calls and have people calling you that, because you're going to change your whole expression and you're going to create cognitive dissonance. Life is going to suck. You don't know what's going on. At the last time that I did, she selected a business name. She did everything. Then she contacted me, and I did her business plan. But you know, everything switched. It was all ones, 2 3s, a 5, and an 8. So her most predominant expression was a 1, and she was a female. Her marriage sucked. She got fired from every job. She was bumping heads with her kids. Why? Because she became a phallic female. Because the 1 represents the penis. Ain't nothing wrong with it, because guess what? If that's what you want to do, when you write, you are performing a freaking ritual. Man, the most dangerous thing you can do is take a penis and put it in a punani, because you're going to create a baby. The most dangerous thing you can do is take your pen and put it on paper, because you just created a spiritual tupa. That shit is walking around. If you give it energy, it'll take over your life. And once they create it, they don't die. They don't want to die. I'm trying to help you. I did this shit already. I was an irresponsible creator. And I got a bunch of spiritual babies walking around. And they grow up and they get pissed off at the daddy because he didn't take care of them. And then they try to come back, put a bullet in your head, a spiritual bullet. That's that demonic soul ties and emotional cores. All of my enemies were self-created. I don't believe in the devil. I've never seen him, heard of him. Every problem I ever had, I created it. I cannot think of one problem, aka issue, concern that I've had that I did not create myself. Can you? So let's get back to the numbers. After the number 8, because remember, I don't have an 8 in my personal numbers, but I do have an 8 in my business numbers. That's why I've made the adjustment to make me more of an executive. Next is number 7, which is the number of intellectual, analytical. It's also the number of the lone wolf, which again ties into the number 1, which feeds my frequency that says, I can pick up everybody's energy and I can discern everybody's intention. That is good and bad, because everybody don't love you every day, all day. You piss people off all the time. So I pick that up. And I pick up people's true intent, because I'm a 617. 6 means level of detail, because that's what the word compassion. 1 means independent. 7 means intellect, but the intellect comes from the ability for you to connect with people at their lowest point. It's called sympathy. So I pick up all of your trash. Not you personally, of course, but you know. Now you could love me on Monday, but you don't like me on Tuesday. So I pick that up. So I don't really pick up the love as much as I pick up the hate. So I got to be careful of that, because I order it. So you order what you pick up, because emphasis on the word pick up. You got to actually bend down and pick it up. So I already know that about myself. But I don't really have a 7 in my own personal numbers. But I performed a ritual when I WRITE. I did an RITE. Now I can only RIGHT. So the universe, my reticular activation, sends things into my life that aligns with those numbers. And the last numbers were 1, 4, 5. So there's a lot of 1s in there. And I don't have that many 1s in my personal numbers. So that 1, 4, 5, that's, again, the path that I am on. Every time I jump in business, I'm an individual stabilizer that creates freedom. If you look at what I do for people, I help people find their individualization, their identity. When they find their identity, they get stable. When they get stable, they get free. That's what I've been doing for 25 years, and I will continue to do till my black ass transfers up out of this frequency, and I go to the next one. And I'll be doing it over there, too. So I'm a master teacher. I have no other job. I ain't interested in no other job. Nobody on the planet can do this better than me. Why would I want to be somebody else? So when Sister Cheryl West set up and she did both, right, Sister Cheryl? So now if I was to ask Sister Cheryl, what numbers are we looking at today? Because like me, Sister Cheryl has a destiny or Diakonia report. That's personal. And that personal destiny or Diakonia report is found inside of her, what we call a person. Now, the person and the business are one, but you get to choose which one you want to emphasize by creating a frame. Frame determines focus. Focus determines discipline. Discipline creates order. The universe only responds to order. That's a made-up mind. So if I didn't make up my mind, I would not be experiencing my current shine. And every time I experience any kind of decline, I realize that I've forgotten that I've made up my mind. So when Sister Cheryl established mentalness or mental maintenance, mentalness and mental maintenance is a total different frequency, wave, verb, vibe from Sister Cheryl West. Cheryl West is born in February. That is the month of mentalness. So those two go together, perfect match. It is a marriage made in heaven. So Sister Cheryl is expressing herself. The end game is to help people be spiritual. Spiritual means that you are here to learn how to create singleness of mind. So if somebody was to ask Sister Cheryl West, why should I hire you, talk to you, do anything with your business, blah, 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 because I can help you establish singleness of mind. But that's not a benefit. That's the effect. So what's the benefit of singleness of mind? You can create anything you want. I don't know if y'all understand it. I posted it today on my Facebook page because the most important thing on the planet is we have a problem. The problem is we got too many options. Now, I like having options, but options is a two-edged sword. It's a trick. Because what happens is I did this myself. I don't know if y'all tried it. Every time I made a goal, I accomplished the goal. Okay, what's next? I made another goal. I make that goal, I accomplish the goal. What's next? I make another goal. So I end up having goal addiction, what is called destination addiction. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but the problem with that is you're never happy. You're never satisfied. And I like peace. I like a lot of the other stuff, but I don't like anything that messes up my peace. I like to sleep. When I do sleep, I like to sleep. So I had to replace bad habits with God's pattern. So I replace habits with patterns because I got a bunch of habits and they're awesome, but they're not God's pattern. So the human mind is the most powerful tool on the planet. The problem with the human mind is the mind consistently changes because you're getting thoughts every day. Like right now, you may be thinking about eating. Next thing you be thinking about having sex. Next thing you think about, damn, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep. Next thing you're doing, oh, damn, you know what? I didn't do that report. Next thing you think, oh, you know what? I got to go pick up the kids. Next thing, you know what? Bump them kids. You know what? They can walk home from school. Or you may be thinking about, oh, damn, you know what? I didn't call my mama. Today's her birthday. So the brain is constantly changing its direction. That's Groundhog Day. Everybody got the same problem. The brain. The brain is your greatest tool, but it's also the thing that you have to learn how to rule. Once again, your brain is your greatest tool, but it's also the thing that you have to learn how to rule. So before we go any deeper into Sister Cheryl's numbers, and for everybody, when you do your numbers, don't get bamboozled because the brain is smarter than you. The brain wants you to look at, okay, I got 100, really everybody got 144 numbers. What? Yep, you got 144 frequencies, waves, and vibrations. You got to harmonize those, but it's done automatically for you when you have singleness of mind. So I only got one question for you. Same question I have for Sister Cheryl. Do you like your frame? Now, hopefully that answer to that question is yes. Because you came into the world with a frame. Now, you got free will, though. You can do it like Jesus did in the Garden of Gethsemane when he says, you know what, man, Father, take this cup from me. You're like, yeah. Then he said, hold up. Nevertheless, not my will be done, but yours. So he gave up his W-I-L-L in exchange for the big G's W-H-E-E-L. That's what Sister Cheryl had. So this is the key to life. Someone should write this down. Once the mind is controlled properly and directed in one direction, you can manifest anything you want. That is the number one key to success. That is also the number one key to failure. Because you could actually do what I did and decide to be somebody that you're not. Totally diss your identity and become somebody else. That's what LGBTQXYZ is. You mean to tell me you got two click clacks and a pole, and you want to disassociate and you want to associate with two ovaries and a lane. There are men, biologically male, they're biological males, who refuse to identify. So the brain then refuses to verify what they identify. The brain verifies whatever you identify. That's called focus. Like in the movie that Will Smith made called Focus. So everything that he focused on, he got. It happened. You got that same power. The problem is you just don't focus. Laser. So I got numbers. But I focus more on my business numbers because my business numbers are more applicable to what I like, which is freedom. My definition of freedom, all my bills are paid. And I got money left over to go party. My definition of freedom, every organ in my body functions according to its purpose. I have no uneasiness in my body or in my mind. My definition of freedom is I can do that. I can solve any problem that is presented to me. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to find the answer 100% of the time. To date, I have not been asked a question that I've not been able to answer. It may take me a couple of days to find it, a couple of minutes, but I'm going to find it. Because that is the disposition. Number 4, relationship. You may not like me, but I ain't got a problem with you. I don't have to leave anybody, people leave me. Because they can't vibrate with me. And that's an issue because my vibration changes constantly because I'm always learning, therefore I'm always growing. So before, like whether it's with my wife, whether it's with people that I partner with, you guys, I tell you the MT33 you knew yesterday, he gone. Because I've changed daily. So you got to keep up. So I only have one issue that I've had all my life, the same issue. I can't find nobody to keep up. Like literally. Like you got to think about that statement. When you say that, what does that mean? Most people like where they're at. And I've tried that too. And I'm being honest with y'all, man. Let's keep it real. Like I go all day, every day, till people get tired to take vacations. They want to do this. I don't do none of that. Like sleep is an interruption. I mean, I lay down. I try to force myself to sleep as much as I can. But if you heard that, like an old elder who talked about sleep, people who don't sleep a lot, because that means that their body doesn't have to repair a lot. You only sleep if you got something in the body that needs to be repaired. So no, I don't sleep 8 hours a day. I've never slept 30 hours a day because I've never had 8 whatever amount of things that need to be repaired inside of my body. That ain't bad or good. That's just the way that I'm designed. So you got to do you. And the problem is people should not make you feel bad for doing good. I posted that on my Facebook page today. There's a lot of people on this call right now. You are doing good. Now you're listening to me and you say, well, Doc said he only sleep 3 or 4 hours a day. I mean, I'm gonna sleep 3 or 4 hours a day. Why would you do that? You should not feel good. Feel bad for feeling good. Your body is designed to sleep 8 hours a day because maybe you are a world-class athlete. and you put a lot of stress and strain on your body, yeah, you got to repair it. You got to put the body down, man, and repair itself. So you can't compare yourself to me. And I don't say it enough, but I'll apologize if I ever make anybody feel less than. That is not my intent. I'm not here to try to make you feel like, oh, well, I don't, Doc does this, and I don't do that. I eat donuts and junk food. I don't recommend you do it. You know it's healthy. Donuts is the worst thing you can eat. I just my brain is more powerful than a donut. So I can do that. But if you can't do that, then you gotta be comfortable and happy as a lizard on a hot rock in Texas in August. Because if you're not, you're gonna draw negativity. And that's an issue because unfortunately a lot of people feel things that they shouldn't feel. So Sister Cheryl West is a spiritualist. She has the ability to basically create singleness of mind, but it's related to her thought. That means that her thoughts synchronize. Her niche is she's a leader. Her narrative, her story, her motivated ability story comes from the year that she was born. That just simply means that that's the number 2. So everybody has a labor of love report. You should labor in love. If I'm honest, we talked about the business report. I love it. But like everything that I do, I am a very, very, very detailed person. Ain't too much get past me, man. That's a problem for a lot of people. It's called perfectionism. I am a perfectionist. Sister Cheryl West isn't. If I was giving Sister Cheryl West advice, I would tell Sister Cheryl West to go to page 10 of your Diakonia report, and every morning when you wake up, please implement that. Sister Cheryl West just needs to realize, and everybody on this call, we did the whole 12 numbers, and again, I do that. But if I'm doing a reading, somebody comes to me and they say, Doc, I need to simplify it. What do I do today, like right now? Sister Cheryl West only has to know 2 things. That's the month that she's born. Everybody on this call, that's all you got to know. Break down the month that she was born into a single-digit number. Mine is already broken down. I'm a 9 because I was born in September. Sister Cheryl West is a 2 because she's born in February. Sister Cheryl West is born on a day that's called Unos, if I know my Spanish. So she's born on the 1st of the month. Then the last number is you take the year that you was born and you multiply. So let's just say, because her numbers is 2, so let's just say Sister Cheryl West was born in 2000. So 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals, 2. So that's her business. 2, 1, 2. I'm simplifying it for everybody. So the questions, because I got questions, and also like same thing with you, brother Donaldson, brother Colin, to simplify it. Now, then we're gonna get into the more difficult stuff. So to show her business plan, her business is she's a intuitive leader that's here to establish or to assist people with trusting what they know. We call that intuition or discernment. Women have intuition, men have discernment. So that's her primary mission in life. But you know what Sister Cheryl West's primary problem in life? Sister Cheryl, what's your primary problem that we've talked about? Trusting her own intuition. It's amazing to me. I've been doing this for 25 years. That's why I got my $100,000 reward out there. I ain't never been wrong. Yeah, people think that it's arrogant and it's cocky because it's not my system. Yeah, I just got it from God. I just took it straight from the throne. So I'm sharing with Sister Cheryl what God shared me. Your most pressing problem is your most profitable product. So if I was Sister Cheryl West or anybody on this call, why would you want to be anything less than God's best? Why would you want to do that? Now, we all do. Let's just keep it real. Why? Because we like shiny things. We get distracted and we say, ooh, I'm going to go out and do that. I'm going to go out and, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to conquer the, blah, blah, blah. We all do it. It's just, it's not our genius. But I would caution everybody to simplify your life in the beginning so that way at least you can get the ball rolling. Because a lot of times people have problems getting the ball rolling, and that's okay. Then we was talking about Sister Amika. So if we look at Sister Amika's numbers, it's 494. Now, if I was to ask Sister Amika, what is her most pressing problem? I got $100,000 I would give if I'm wrong. And I don't, there's the same thing with Sister Cheryl West. If she's honest, if I put Sister Amika on a lie detector test, if I put Sister Diane Coleman, if I put anybody on a lie detector test, and if I ask them, what is your most pressing problem in your life, been following you around since you was 5 years old? You know what Sister Amika would say? Stability. Why? Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie, people do. I wouldn't do nothing else in the world. That's why I've been doing this for 25 years. And I'm going to keep doing it for another 25, 50, 60, however long I'm sticking around. So Sister Amika starts, she's a 494. So no matter what anybody does on this call, nothing matters more than the month, the day, and the year that you was born, because you can change your name. But you cannot change the day, the month, and the year that is the energy imprint on your DNA. Your DNA has been imprinted. That's like God put his signature. He let me write it inside of them. He's not written his laws on tablets of stone any longer, but he's written them on the hearts and his minds of his people. That's why I hate Christianity more than any other religion. I hate them all, but I hate Christianity. I don't hate a lot of stuff in life, but I hate Christianity. Because it rewrites your code. And it overlays, it puts something on top of you. And so now you become, you have that Christian Lukeism. Like most Christians are not mentally sound. Because they got too many minds. They don't have singleness of mind. I know because you guys remember, man, I was licensed, had my own church. I did everything in Christianity. I started from the bottom, man, when I went to the top. So I've been behind the board meetings with these $1 million churches. Stop playing. Nothing is more important than your peace of mind. And I said 4, but I meant to say 2 with Sister Mika's numbers. So it's like 492. I think I said 4. Anyway, let's get back to Cheryl of the West. So now that we know that we got Sister Cheryl's basic frequency, wave, and vibration out the way, so now let's go back to what we was talking about yesterday. Everybody has my book called The Eagles Club. You guys got it. It's inside of the Life Management System. I think it's like Module 4. So inside of the Eagles Club, I have my business plan that I wrote when I didn't know none of this, and I started like 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, it's been that long. And in that, the only thing that I like about it, because all I had is scriptures. I had none of this. So when you go read it, like you guys should put it up, because it's funny. Like on page, I kind of laugh now because I look at it as like because I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. So I put down dream statement, and right underneath it, I wrote, what we dream about every day. So, and then I put John 6:38, Matthew 7:21, John 6:40. So, in my business plan is nothing but scriptures. Now I've updated it, blah, blah, blah. But if you are like me and you don't like the attributes and characteristics that's been given to you by God, like nobody should be in that position. But some of you know, hey, you never know. There may be somebody out there a little anal retentive like I was. Like I don't really believe nobody at their word. But you got to show me the nail scars in your hand. Say, Doc, I'm for you till the wheels fall off. Really? Now, I've learned to believe people so that way I don't mess up relationships. Because remember, You bring about what you think about. So if you really are genuine, but I think you're not, I'm going to order, I will make you not genuine. So I know the game. I've learned the hard way. That's the only way, like, for example, my marriage works. Because in my brain, I'm looking at all the things that are reasons why it shouldn't work. So I have to override that so that way it does work. So what we're talking about now is the most dangerous thing on earth. That is rewriting the brain so that you don't experience any more toxic shame. Now, in your Diakonia report, I break down all the math, the science behind all of this stuff. So especially the letters that's inside of your name, so that way you can understand. You should go through that and look at each letter in your name, because all of this is also part of your business plan. Because your business, that's how you generate your capital. That's how you make your money. So if you're anything like me, you don't play with your money. I mean, I know I don't. I don't like nobody who's messing with my paper. Now, we know, when I say paper, I'm not talking about paper. I'm talking about disposition. So what messes with your disposition? Okay, Joe Biden talking about they're going to do this, or they're going to do it. All prices, gas prices, what do they do? They're trying to get into your head. So Sister Cheryl is perfect because her brain works solitary. So she's born in the month that allows her to establish singleness of mind. So she has something that most people don't have, a natural guard, which is why she's good at what she do. So Sister Cheryl West numbers are 235, kind of like Brother Richard. So you guys remember from last night, the first three numbers, and we'll reverse it, but let's go through Sister Cheryl really quickly. 235-808-101-527. So Sister Cheryl also has the unlimited resources of God at her disposal, because she has 2 scoops of God, if you will, in her numbers. So that means out of, other people, Sister Cheryl West has what I call an unfair advantage. And I tell her this all the time. And Sister Cheryl is a peaceful, artistic freedom fighter. And the way by which she goes through that is by understanding that her dream in life is, what she dreams about every day is peace. Whether that's established or accomplished or not, that's another story for another time. So, Sister Cheryl, you have to make sure that when you're sitting around at home, and I've told you this many times before, your business is not going to be successful because the enemy will your business will not be successful because the enemy would attack you in the area of your dreams. Now, the only reason I went to the dream statement, or to read the dream statement, because inside of my book, I have that listed first. I've updated what I did 20 plus years ago, because the dream statement is the last number of the life optimization circle. In business, online, and every place I can find on the internet, they usually put the dream statement first. So the number one mistake that a lot of people make, that I made for 20 years, which is why I couldn't synchronize my life, was I did exactly what I just told you guys to do, or what I just read. So what does that mean? If you are sitting at home right now and you have your life optimization circle, I'd like for you to do this exercise with me. So if you could take out a blank sheet of paper, and everybody should do this, so that way you can kind of do your readings at the same time. Or you can write your business plan right now. If you're sitting at home right now, you have your life optimization circle. The first three numbers, that is the life path number. So the Cheryl is, and you should write these numbers diagonally. going down a sheet of paper, like on you got a notebook and you take it out. It's on the, what do you call it, the left. I'm about to say right, but the left-hand side. So I'm doing this too. I'm taking out a sheet of paper, a blank sheet of paper, notebook paper. Or you can do it on the internet. On Microsoft Word. And on the left-hand side of the margin, I'm going to write 2, 3, 5. That's the first 3 numbers. Then I'm going to write the next 3 numbers. 8, 0, 8. Everybody at home should be doing the same thing. Then I'm going to write the next 3 numbers. 1, 0, 1. Then I'm going to write the last 3 numbers, doing Sister Cheryl's report. 5, 2, 7. So now you got all 12 business statements in numerical form. Let me say it again. You have all 12 business statements in numerical form. So that's your business plan right there. Now, right next to each one of these numbers, we are going to write in the mental statements that's required to manifest the number. Say it again. Right next to each number, we're going to go through and write the mental statement that's required for you to manifest the number and for the number to manifest you. So right next to the number 2, I'm just going to write the word goal. To the number 3, I'm going to write the word object or objective. Right next to the number 5, I'm going to write the word dream. Right next to the number 8, I'm going to write the word action. So what we're doing is we're going through each number in your circle and taking it out of the circle and put it in a line, linear. Because right now it's circular. It's a curve cut. So now, because we are in a linear time. So I'm writing out Sister Cheryl West's timeline that should occupy her mind. If the timeline occupies the mind, you're guaranteed to shine. So this is how I align my mind when I'm in time. Now, when you start having fun, what happens? Time flies when you're having fun. So these numbers is where you start and then you throw them away because then it's automatic. See, what happens is we are all logical. We're not, logical and reason logic. We don't really use the love and compassion aspects of the brain. So what we're doing is we're breaking this down step by step so you can see how it works. And then once you understand how it works, you don't really need it anymore because then it's automatic. So the first statement was the goal statement. The next number was the objective statement. The next number was the dream statement. We left out with the 4th number, which is the action statement. The 5th number for Sister Cheryl is a 0. That, right next to the 0, we write the word responsibility. That's the responsibility statement. The 6th number is the number 8 for Sister Cheryl. That is a mission statement, or the word mission. The 7th number, which is a 1, that is the word operation or operating. The 8th is a 0, that is marketing. The 9th number is a 1, and that is purpose. The 10th number is a 5, that is value. The 11th number, that is a 2, and that is foundation. The foundational statement. Foundation. And the 12th number, which is the last number, is a 7 for the show, and that is vision. So I started out first, and I had dream statement first. After the dream statement, I had the mission statement. Now, this is 20 years ago. After the mission statement, I had purpose. After purpose, then I had vision, then because I took it off the internet. So if you go to the internet, and you go to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Brown, your historically black college, with your Greek brand, Even though you're an African American or a black person or whatever they call us these days, why would you do that? I'm still trying to figure that out. A goal statement, objective statement. That was just a sidebar. Y'all know I'd be throwing in these sidebars every once in a while. So now we have a linear system from top to bottom. But we know, because we are all astute ex-helios, biblios, or Bible thumpers, we know that they did something. They hid the truth. They took the truth and they hid it. They took the truth and they turned it. The Bible says they turned it upside down. So we're going to turn it back up, right side up. So in order for Sister Cheryl and everybody on this call to be successful in life, you got to make sure that your numbers are in order, because that is an incantation. So I am an incarnation, and I use a incantation. That's what we're doing right now, to create my own incarceration. I'm in jail. You in jail. That's why we're in a prism, P-R-I-S-M. Everything on this earth is a prism. We call it the electromagnetic spectrum. So now I get to create my own prism. You do too. So what kind of prism you want to create? Well, I want to create one of, love, joy, peace, gentleness, meekness, self-control, wealth, health, wisdom, great relationships. I don't know what y'all want to get, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my design and I'm going to turn it back upside right. So we're going to start with the vision. So we start at the bottom. Now on your circle, instead of reading your circle, remember we're the only country that, I think the only country, because I know when I went overseas, everybody drives on the left. Everything is different up in the United States. We read right to left. Everybody else read left to right. And it's not by accident, because English is English. It's the language, it's the anguish. It's the language of the fallen light being. I have that inside of my book as well. So now we got the numbers. So now we got the vision first. We got the vision statement, foundation statement, value statement, purpose statement, marketing statement, operating statement, mission statement, responsibility statement, action statement, dream, objective, and the goals. That's how everybody rolls. So now we're getting right out the plan. Because the vision is what Sister Cheryl sees in her head. Because remember, if you can't see it in your head, you can't hear it in your ears. You can't taste it with your tongue. You can't touch it with your hands. You can't smell it with your nose. If that's not the craziest shit you've ever heard in your life, I don't know what it is. Let me say it again. If your brain does not have an image of an elephant, and if I say elephant, you will not see it. An elephant could walk in front of you, you will not see it. This is fact. Let me say it again. I don't know if you really got it. Your self-image, nothing matters. You should not be talking about anything. You shouldn't be reading anything. You shouldn't be doing anything. You shouldn't be going anywhere until you got a proper self-image. All I do every day is maintain my self-image. Everybody's coming to tell me what I can't do. And I tell myself what I can do. And it's a battle. And Sister Cheryl is in business to help people establish a proper self-image. Singleness of mind. The only way to shine is if you got a singleness of mind. That's why vision is number one. And so Sister Cheryl's vision is pre-selected by source. So she can align, or guess what she can do? She can say, even though I'm a biological female, I want to identify as a biological male. You got that choice, boo-boo. Do you? Me? Yeah. And so me, myself, and I, all three of us, we're going to hang out with the big G. So Sister Cheryl is a intellectual, empathetic, truth seeker. That's her vision. So in her head, she sees things intellectually. And if you ever talk with Sister Cheryl West, did a one-on-one, then you will see that, yep, she's an intellectual, sympathetic. She connects with people at their lowest level, not their highest, which is good, because then you can relate. She's an expert, but the next part, all the other words are being used against her. Because expert, she don't see herself as that. Thinker, analyzer, loner, mysterious, secretive, skeptical, spiritual, and analytical. Those are the attributes and characteristics of the number 7. That should be in our head. Now, you should be thinking like I think, which is the problem. We think too much. Instead of being, we should just be. We should just be this. Don't think about it, just be it. Now, it's automatic. So that simply means don't try to be fake. Be authentic. So, Sister Cheryl, people probably told her that she's sneaky, mysterious, secretive, skeptical. Damn straight. Because for what she has to do, she needs these attributes and characteristics. But, so Sister Cheryl is feeling bad while doing good. Like everybody. So she got to embrace her identity. So the vision in her eye, in her mind's eye, she has to see those 12 attributes and characteristics in order for her to have what I call a competitive marketing advantage. So you have a competitive advantage over everybody else that's in that are mentalists. As long as you align your mind with your God-given design, you're guaranteed to shine. So that's her vision. Now her vision establishes her foundation. And her foundation is a 2. It simply means, out of all the numbers in the 2, words, I like the word knowing without study. All 2s, they just know things without study. That's called intuition. Unfortunately, they don't believe what they know. I don't know how many times I've told you that, Sister Cheryl, right? Sister Cheryl will call and ask me a question. She said, Doc, can you do this for me? And then all she hears is crickets. I don't answer. I don't text back. I don't nothing. A couple of days go by. Hey, Doc, I was wondering if you could do this. All she hears is crickets. So I'm a 6. So that's why I changed to get more of the 8. Because as a 6, my way of saying no is because I don't like confrontation. Because every time I've been into a confrontation, somebody got hurt. Every fight I got into when I was a kid, somebody went to the emergency room, to the hospital. And then cops was looking for me. I don't know how many skulls I've attacked and eye sockets I've broke and all this crazy stuff. Now, I had it done to me too. Let's keep it real. So I don't like confrontation. So God designed me that way because God knows me. I got a little touch of cray. Now that it was good when I was in the hood, but I'm not in the hood. I'm over here now on the north side of town with all these white folks. So I can't have that crazy jumping around in my eyes because makes the white man nervous. Black man too. What you talking about? There's triple chocolate in the background, y'all. So what are you saying? Doc? Well, I'm flawed because I got a disposition. If I wasn't a 6, I'd be in prison or dead. Guaranteed. So I don't mind letting people, I do it on people think that, I talk in circles on purpose. I'm non-confrontational on purpose. I allow people to, get over on me on purpose because I see it and I want to respond to it. But the way I want to respond to it is I want to put a ski mask on and crawl through your backyard in the middle of the night when you sleep. I just got 0 and then, that's it. I don't have that middle gear. So whenever there's a debate or a competition, I send the wife. If a bill collector calls me, like, the old school, they try to threaten me and stuff, I'm like, bro, where you live at, man? Stop playing. People on Facebook, they like all this Facebook beef and stuff. Come on, man, I can't do that. My house is purposely on the internet. So if anybody want to show up, just come on, man. Y'all, I'm giving everybody an invitation. They got beef. So God knows that, so he says, we're going to give this fool an extra dose of pregnant female. So a pregnant female has a baby to protect. So she's more interested in not putting herself in harm's way, not because of herself, but because she is pregnant with purpose. So God keeps me pregnant. I'm always giving birth to products. Well, I keep my black ass out of prison. So I know that now. Now, it took me a while to figure out the game, Dr. Martinet, but I figured out the game now. So now I know I'm flawed, so that way I can stay on the planet longer. Because either I'm going to try to hurt somebody, or I'm going to end up getting hurt while trying to hurt somebody. So to keep me on the sideline, God keeps me in a space, thankfully, that allows me to see the forest and the trees. So, Sister Cheryl, your foundation is what keeps you alive. You got to trust yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. Otherwise, your vision won't be amplified. Which leads me to number 3, which is the third statement, that is value. And we talked about that last night, so we don't have to break that down. I just want to know, everybody want to know the same thing. How what you do going to benefit me? Values, that's your core priorities. Why is singleness in mind important? Man, I could talk for about 3 hours on that one, Cheryl. So you are a singleness of mind establisher. So there are life coaches, there's health coaches, there's fitness coaches. Sister Cheryl West, you are a singleness of mind coach. You have to really establish singleness of mind. Because see, mentalness is good, but I'm like, okay, mentalness, mental maintenance, that's great. But then your tagline underneath that, I establish singleness of mind. I help people see the trees that's in the forest. Because a lot of people can't see the trees because it's the forest. So that's your job. That's the value you bring. Next is purpose. So the purpose, notice where purpose is at. If we can remember, we got your life circle and we're going backwards. So we got the 12th number. And now, as a matter of fact, you guys should write this on your piece of paper. So you have the numbers that you've been assigned by God. So the Cheryls, again, are 235-808-101-257. Mine, 336-123-123-549. Now my business, okay, totally different set of numbers. Then we go down, starting at the goal, all the way down to the vision. So now we're reversing it. So when you see the number, when you see the word vision, you should write the number 12. Because you got 12 cranial nerves. Each one of these attacks the nerve. Now, in the private pay-per-view class later on this year, we're going to go through and identify each nerve in the brain. Because right now, if you go to Google or your favorite search engine, and you type in 12 cranial nerves function or 12 cranial nerves in order or anything like that deal with the 12, I think it's 12 cranial nerves order. If you type in that, it gives you the exact same order that we're going on. And so by looking at the order of the cranial nerves, you can see the order of your numbers. The 12 cranial nerves, and then each cranial nerve attaches to a part of the body. It's very interesting. And the cranial nerves attach to different aspects of the body, and it controls how it operates, whether it's smell, vision, eye movement, facial function, tongue, hearing. All of those are controlled by nerves, and those nerves, they are controlled by verbs. So the vision statement is the 12. Foundational statement is 11. Value statement is 10. Purpose statement is 9. Marketing statement is 8. Operating statement is 7. Mission statement is 6. Responsibility statement is 5. Action statement is 4. Dream statement is 3. The objective statement is 2. Goal statement is 1. So when we see these statements, or these words, I should say, we see their order from the bottom to the top by writing those 12 numbers, and then we do the same thing like we always do. We flip them. Now, the reason I want you to write it so that way you can see it. Because remember, when you write something down, you can, then that writes it, the brain remembers it. Because you're utilizing more of your senses. Seeing it is one thing. If I could get you to smell it, I would have you smell it too. If we could lick the paper and we could taste what does 12 taste like, if that was a taste for 12, I would have everybody taste so you could remember. It would be burned in your brain forever. What does the number 12 taste like? But it doesn't have but you can write it and you can see it and you can hear it. So we're utilizing 3 frequencies, waves of vibration of the 5 elements. So now the number vision becomes the number 1 because we're flipping it. The foundation becomes the number 2. The value becomes the number 3. Then we just keep going. Purpose is 4. Marketing is 5. Operation is 6. Mission is 7. Responsibility 8. Action 9. Dream 10. Objective 11. Goal 12. Now the goals, they are the 12th most important thing. But on the internet and every self-help program, they say goals is number 1. Because they did flip it. So the way the enemy keeps everybody trapped in Groundhog Day is everybody got the combination. They don't got the combination though. They got the numbers, but they don't got the numbers in the proper order. So what I do is I just help people create structure, because remember it's focus, discipline, and order. But the order comes from the discipline. The discipline comes from focus. With no focus, there is no discipline. No discipline, there is no order. Especially for young black men. Black women too. But if you're raising children, you have to teach them focus, discipline, and order. Because that's how the world works. So you send them out to the dominant culture, and they're going to get dominated. They're going to get mounted. They're going to get pumped. Why? We just got angry. We've got anger. Man, every black dude I know is angry. He pissed off. Why? Childhood sucked. I don't know a black kid that ain't angry. They're all angry. Even affluent kids. The wife had a long conversation with his daughter this morning. Because, again, as I've been saying for 20 years, affluent kids and kids raised in poverty, they both have the same spirit, entitlement. You should ask your therapist why. Now, we've broken it down, and if you don't understand it, life is going to be rough for you. Because your job is to give children purpose. Because where purpose is not known, what happens? Abuse is inevitable. So we did the vision, the foundation, the value. Everybody knows purpose. Purpose is, why you're here. So, Cheryl, yours is the 1. Marketing, how you connect, that's a 0. I mean, you got unlimited resources with the Cheryl. So that is your business plan. You start at the bottom with the 7th number, because we're reading the circle from left to right. And everybody on this call, hopefully you took your paper and you wrote down your 12 numbers. And you go into your Diakonia report and you take out, because those 12 have 12. So it's 12 times 12. That gives you the 144. That's the 144,000 that the Bible is talking about. It's not people, it's dispositions. Ooh, don't tell nobody I told you. So once you understand this, now you got a chart to harmonize the brain. So all of these numbers that we've been talking about, they are expressed really through what we said at the beginning of the show. And at the beginning of the show, all we said was 2, 1, 2. When we talked with Sister Cheryl. And so once she realized with her real eyes that everything else is real lies except for this, then she established vision. She got singleness of mind now. All she do is think about these numbers. 725 101 808 532. Last but not least, everyone, and so sure, I'm just going to take the luxury of choosing 1 out of the 12 words that resonates with your spirit. So based upon, man, this is sure, how long have we been rocking and rolling? I think I've known you for, probably, I guess, about 2 years now? It's been a while, but anyway, I mean, I ain't gonna sit there and say that, me and Sister Cheryl is besties, but, Sister Cheryl, I mean, we get along pretty good, right, Sister Cheryl? Except when I don't text you back. That's not by accident, Sister Cheryl. I mean, I know you probably figured it out by now. I do that with everybody, by the way. I know your giftedness. I know your gifts, your power, your strength. I know what you need. So my job is just to assist you to be you. That's why you're here. That's why you pay me. That's what a life coach does. I don't do it for you. It ain't my job. I got my own job. You got a job too. That's why you're here. You got destiny. God don't. We don't need other gods. We figure shit out. So if I had to select the number 7 out of all of the attributes and characteristics for the number 7, which is intellect, sympathy, truth seeker, expert, thinker, analyzer, loner, mysterious, secretive, skeptical, spiritual, analytical, the number that resonates for me, for Sister Cheryl, would be mysterious. Now remember, Sister Cheryl, you sending out a frequency wave of vibration to the universe, and so the universe sends you that frequency wave of vibration back. The number one and the most important thing is to establish singleness of mind. So your numbers are 212. So you are a peaceful, independent leader that loves, establishes peaceful disposition. So the word mysterious, when it comes to business, may not be the best vision or image that you have in your head, which is going to determine the sound you hear in your ear. So we don't hear the sound the way that it is. We hear sound the way that we are. We don't see people the way that they are. We see people the way that we are. So in other words, everybody on this call sees me differently. Because you guys don't see me as I am. You see me as you are. You see me as I presented myself to you. So we twist reality to fit our mentality. We all do. You just need to be aware of it. So the word that the vision or the image, the way that I would like to see Sister Cheryl would be more of a expert. Because one of the words for the number 7 is expert. It's also another word I would like to see for Sister Cheryl would be truth seeker, thinker, intellectual, analyzer. Why? Because that's the vision. So, Sister Cheryl, your job is to establish that vision of a expert. Because guess what? Everybody wants a SME, subject matter expert. Sister Cheryl, when it comes to the subject of the matter of singleness of mind, you want to be the expert. You want me to think in my brain, man, you know what? I'm having a problem focusing, making a decision as to what I should do. You know what? If I have a problem putting my golf, I got a problem in golf, and I don't have the ability to hit the long ball. My short game is off. Let me see. I think I'm going to call Michael Jordan. Does that make sense to y'all? No. What name comes to your mind when I say golf? Everybody on this call should be saying Tiger Woods. There's a lot of other golfers out there, Ernie, what's his name, Arnold Palmer, all this other stuff. But for our generation, pretty much the last 3 generations, it's been, since my boy been on the planet, he's been dominating. So when I say mental maintenance, Cheryl West, your name has to dominate. So your job on the internet, Sister Cheryl, is to position yourself, to frame yourself as a subject matter expert. So all of your posts, Sister Cheryl, should make me think Sister Cheryl is a subject matter expert. That subject is mental maintenance. You have to position yourself, because remember, frame determines focus. So as long as Sister Cheryl establishes the right frame, she will maintain focus. If she maintains focus, people will do what we call discipline. They become a disciple. If they become a disciple, then they will get in order, get in line to give you their cash. So the only way that you get cash is you have the ability to align my mind with your frame or your design, CME, subject matter expert, in exchange for the word mysterious. And then, Sister Cheryl and everybody on this call, you want to go through the rest of the numbers, so pretty much out of time, but you want to go through the rest of the numbers and make sure that your single standing column matches your image in your brain. The foundation for Sister Cheryl West is a 2. Out of all of the words that make up the number 2, intuitive, peacemaker, mediator, inward creator, that's a big one, knowing without study, intuition, corporation, balance, sensitive, patient, fair, psychic. That is your foundation. So Sister Cheryl, make sure out of those 12 frequencies, the one that resonates with you, because that's the one that you are going to remember. The word resonance means resound. So what you send out, you get back. So make sure that you select what you want to send out, because that's what you get back. Everything in your life right now, you is just a returning of the sound that you sent. That's what's called resonance, which means to resound. So why would you sound? What's a sound? It's a frequency, wave, and vibration. We call it a thought. So you shouldn't do that. So you are resounding bills. You are sounding bills. And then you wonder why you got bills. Nobody should sound anything other than love, joy, peace, gentleness, meekness, self-control. Against the things there is no other sound. There is no other law. In English, that is wealth, health, wisdom, and great relationships. Do not allow yourself to send out a frequency other than wealth, health, wisdom, and great relationships based upon your definition. That is your foundation. And then next you select the number, single word that resonates with your spirit for the word value, purpose, marketing, operating statement, mission statement, responsibility statement, action, dream, objective, and goal. That is the business plan. Now, going back to doing these business plans, I never really stopped. Cost is $200 if you would like me to write out your business plan for you, taking these numbers, yours numbers, put them on paper, write out a business plan for you. I do that now, and that's only $1,000. That's just another report. It's like the life optimization report, labor of love report, all of these good reports. I may start including them in Diakonia reports. I thought about it, but the report is already so thick. It's already 750 pages, and the publisher now only will publish books up to 700 pages. So I'm having to reduce the text. So I could take out something like, the Japanese zodiac sign or your animal spirit, some of the other things that people could find on the internet. So I may replace that with some of my, stuff that I've developed, which is this system right here. This is my own system. Nobody else has this system. This is my own proprietary information that I've developed over the years. So I think I may change out some of the, general information for more proprietary stuff inside the Diakonia report. So I may be making some changes with that, because there's a couple other reports that I've started doing as well now that my knowledge has increased because we're going global. Anywho, stay tuned, because we may have to look at, because a lot of people have Diakonia reports, but now that I've added so much new information to the Diakonia report, especially for some of you guys that have the older Diakonia reports, because they don't have like the, your solar ID in there. I don't think it has the labor. What was the last one? Oh, the DNA sequencing report. Some of the older ones does not have that information in it. What we talked about today, labor of love. So we may be updating the Diakonia reports and then give you guys a discount to get the new, revised, updated Diakonia report with all of the new information, including all the information that we discussed today. So that way that's included inside of the Diakonia report. All right, everybody. Love you. Appreciate you. Wish everybody later on tonight. God bless.